This is the Tier 10 American Collector Heavy, the Concept 1B, a vehicle that is known for mainly one thing, and that is a turret that hull down is basically impervious to enemy fire. Now yes, you can HE the turret and probably deal like 100 to 150 damage, but that's pretty tricky to do when this vehicle keeps getting more and more damage per minute. The Concept 1B now sits at 2,800 DPM, running calibrated shells, and running gun rammer, it reaches over 3,000. Now, the reason you should run calibrated on this tank is for two reasons. First of all, it's a hull down tank. You're not going to be in a situation, if you're playing this tank properly, where you're going to need that DPM if you're hull down and your opponents cannot penetrate you. The second reason you shouldn't need to run rammer is because of the fact that the pen is pretty dookie. It's only 310 on the heat. That is not enough to cut through vehicles like an E100, a Jagdpanzer, or really the majority of heavies when they're hull down. Because of that, you definitely want to run calibrated shells. With that aside, a lot of the other stats of this tank are fantastic. For example, the dispersion is insane. It is 0.285 because I'm running refined gun. This vehicle has super good on movement values, so there's really no downside to it. Mobility wise, it reaches a top speed of 45, it reverses fast at 16, and it received a new mechanic in update 10.3, which means that the vehicle can reverse at 7 kilometers per hour when the track is destroyed. I know it says 4 in the picture because Wargaming is apparently illiterate and doesn't know how to change their own banners they've made, but yes, this vehicle can reverse at 7 kilometers per hour when it is tracked. That is huge. It basically means that if you play this vehicle aggressive, you can now reverse without much of a downside, which is kind of insane, even if you do get tracked. The Concept has just about everything going for it that you would want on a tier 10 heavy. Even though its hull armor isn't great, I mean, the fact that it's got all these other aspects is just insane. I'm still baffled why people use the Chieftain Mark 6 in comp, due to the fact it has reactive over a vehicle like the Concept, even though this tank just keeps getting better and better every update. So we are going to make our way straight into the front line, and we're going to see what we can do. What do they have? An E100, 57 heavy. I'm not going to YOLO into the dip. That's a suicide mission right now, just looking at their lineup. We're going to wait here, and then we'll see what gets detected. We got an enemy 57 heavy, and there you go. Easy shot. Big low roll. This vehicle does have a slightly lower alpha than your average 120 millimeter, but that wasn't a slightly lower alpha right there. That was a, you're going to roll really, really low and do like nothing. That shell, unfortunately, just went a teeny bit too high, but that's all right. We're going to aim it on the 50 TP. All right. I'm just trying to think on what we want to do here. We got the 5041 on our side. We got the YAG off to the side. Our VK90 bled a lot more than he should have there. I'm going to push off wide here and take the safe route because we can see the KPZ. I'm going to go wide, and we're going to take the safe route to the side of the 57 heavy. He's already shot once. We're going to get a nice 390 damage shell out. Now the 57 heavy is going to dump his whole clip, which puts him in a very, very awkward situation because we're on this player's side, and he basically has no support from his team. So we're just going to chill here. We're going to reload again. There you go. Another nice shot into the 57 heavy. And yeah, I don't think this player is enjoying life all too much, if I'm going to be completely honest. The Conqueror is going to finish off this poor player. I'm going to HE him, and there you go. 80 damage in. Bye-bye. Great example of the damage output this vehicle does have. Got the E100 off to the side, and we're going to aim it on his vehicle real quick. There you go. Nice 370 damage into the E100. It's always a smart idea to bleed the heavies that you're going to have to fight later, so yeah, that's just kind of free damage there. Now we're going to flank behind the Jagdpanzer and the 50 TP using that good mobility. We're going to see if we can get any extra damage out. So let's see, 50 TP backs up into us. Nice. Get a roll of 407 out. We can see the somewhat high levels of DPM. I mean, right here, the Concept's DPM is just so good. Easily get 2 shells into this one reload of the 50 TP. Now we're going to keep backing up to a point where the 50 TP cannot pen us in this position. I mean, what's he going to do to me? I'm completely hull down. You have no chance of penning me, and as we can see, we did indeed get a bounce, so we finish off the enemy 50 TP. The Jagdpanzer is indeed going to die. Let's just hope that our team doesn't bleed 8 million health in the process, so I'll kill him. I was a little worried that our team was going to bleed a lot. We're already up to 3,500 damage, and we have not bled a single hit point ourselves, which is obviously really important. conserving HP is the most like important thing you can do as a good player late game, because it means that your health is going to make it further. So we are doing okay right now. I can't say it's 100% win yet, because I mean, let's be real, this is Blitz and nothing's 100% certain. Got the 907 off to the side. Oh, that's a lot of death. We get spotted by the U-100. Okay, well, that's all 4 of their tanks. So that's good. Our Conqueror does get a nice pen into the 907. Let's see, we got the 5041 rolling off to the side. Let's see if we can get an easy slap into the 5041. Bonk, there you go. And yes, our VK90 gets the pen in as well. That player is obviously not enjoying life at the moment. So we're going to push up. I'm going to see if we can just get right into the front line here. Let's see, E100's the biggest threat, and that player is not really doing much of anything right now. You got the Kampfpanzer 70 off to the side, who we're just going to poke and get a nice bonk into. There you go, 380 damage. And again, this is where having that high level of damage per minute comes into play, because we can easily just rip into this Kampfpanzer. You gone. Now we're going to back up. 5041 can't pen me. We're going to aim in a heat shell. You gone. I mean, I don't think I really need to say much else about the... I thought we had a damaged driver because it kind of had the same icon, but no, I guess this tank's just pretty slow in the water. Alright, let's push the 907. Hello, good sir, what are you going to do? The answer may not surprise you. It's called getting rammed. Well, there you go, 5,200 damage, and literally the easiest victory I've had all day. This is a great example of the high DPM, mobility, and great gun depression the concept is able to use. We didn't block that much, but we didn't really need to. We outsmarted our opponents with our proper positioning. That 57 heavy pushed into the dip and learned his lesson on why you don't do that. Don't get me wrong, it can work. Like, sometimes if you go into the dip, you will be able to get out a reasonable amount of damage, and you can work hull down, get some clips into your opponents. But first of all, the 57 heavy isn't a hull down fighter, so putting that tank into the dip is a sus move to begin with, because you're going to get penned most of the times when you poke. But even more than that, it's the fact that none of his other heavies pushed in, which is something you always have to think about as a player. So because of that, I just easily got to his side, and that was the end of his tank. We are going to push up the bridge in the concept. I'm going to ping to the team that we are going up the bridge. I'm hoping that our team listens, but, well, obviously, why would you listen to your teammate? I mean, that would be common sense. Why would you do that, ladies and gents? Well, let's hope that our 62As come with me. I am spotted in the crossing, but we did not get bled, which is obviously very, very important. Alright, well, we see the E6 off to the side. Leopard 1's low. I would expect that Leopard to start backing up. Why did they all go low? Who goes low when you have a massive hull down bridge to work? Who goes under the bridge? I've never seen this. Like, I've seen maybe one tank go low, but I've never seen the entire enemy team go low. Literally, not a single one of their tanks went up. What the heck am I looking at here? What? Okay. Well, let's just push over here wide. I do not have the gun depression to shoot the Leopard at this angle, but we should here, and there you go, easy shot into the enemy Leopard. The 121B ran, which is not surprising to me at all. We're going to get another shell into the Leopard. There you go. Nice 397 shot. Now we're just going to back on up because, I mean, the Leopard's obviously just going to poke right over here. And there you go. Another shot. So, great job. You've only lost all of your health. Woo! Well, you're dead. I'm just going to go over towards the heavies now. I mean, that 62A is not really a threat in my books. It's the heavies over here that are going to bean our teammates that are the threats. So, yeah, let's go see if we can get some shots out. Our heavies are holding pretty well, and that's pretty good. All right. Let's just push over here. Full speed. This is, again, where having that good mobility is nice. You couldn't do this in a lot of heavies. I'm able to actually get over towards the IS-4, the VZ, before our AMX is going to even die, which is just pretty impressive, to be honest. Again, just having that mobility. So we got a nice shot into the rear of the IS-4, which is pretty good. And now we're going to reload again. We got the VZ, we got the IS-7. We're going to aim in on the VZ. There you go. Nice tracking shot into his vehicle. We're going to reload again. I mean, look at this. This is just a free farm here. We do get shot in the side of the 62A, which is actually a pretty nasty roll. Max rolls us, but I'll take it because we just got a fire. into the VZ anyway, and that's a pretty nasty fire of almost 800. Then we're going to get another shot into his vehicle. That's the one thing about the VZ I've always been rather disappointed with, is its poor side armor, but let's get another shot into this player. There you go. VZ's obviously not enjoying life. You've got every damaged module known from here to Timbuktu, and Yagan. 62A's dead, so all that's left are these two heavies right over here, so we're just going to push. I mean, I'm not worried at this point. We've conserved our health once again, and you're dead. Now we're going to actually repair our dead driver this time. Let's just hug the wall here, and, well, it's actually a pretty tricky pen, but not if the IS-4 turns his turret to the side. This is a great example on why you don't need gun rammer. I mean, sure, I might have been able to farm a teeny bit more in that position while I was behind the enemy heavies, but let's be real, you don't need it. It's not going to change your battles from life or death. Didn't really change anything there. We are able to deal 4,173 damage and get an ace. Now, I'll be real, these games we played here were pretty dumb. I mean, this isn't the normal battle you play, but if you want my opinion, I still believe the Concept 1B is an overpowered tank. While it is a team-dependent vehicle, if your team falls apart, this tank will fall apart. It's about as close as we're ever going to get, at least right now, to the Chieftain FV4201 that exists in World of Tanks PC, if any of you are aware of that vehicle. The fact that this tank can sit hull down, have 2,800 damage per minute, with solid penetration, great mobility, and even decent reverse speed, plus a track mechanic that when your track gets broken still allows you to reverse, is insane. It also has just incredible accuracy. It's got great aiming time. Everything that you would want for a heavy, the Concept does properly. The only time it falls apart is when you're driving it on flat ground. But at the end of the day, that is a driver's fault. If you're not playing this tank hull down, it's your fault at the end of the day, not knowing how to play it properly. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.